Assalamualaikum, and today we are continuing where we left off. The head the head of the Quraysh challenged the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Abu Jahl passed a judgment on him. Still, the Quraysh had hope. This was because the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had not clearly rejected their offer in a way that would completely rule out an agreement. One day, they consulted, gathering behind the Kaaba after sunset. They sent a message to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, inviting him to attend. When he came, they presented him with the same proposal that Utbah had previously. He made clear to them that none of this applied, that he was merely a messenger conveying the message of his Lord. If they accept, then it will benefit him in this life and the hereafter. If they reject, then he will be patient until Allah judges them between them and him. When they asked him to produce a sign, asking his Lord to either move a mountain for them, level the city, make the dawn appear, or bring life to some of the deceased, so they would believe him. He Then they told him to ask his Lord to send an angel to them, attesting to what he said, bringing golden treasures and castles of gold and silver. He answered again in the same manner. Then they asked him to bring a punishment, that he had peace of the sky fall upon them. He replied, "That is up to Allah. As He will, He does." So they criticized him sharply and threatened him, and he went away grieving and upset. After he went away, Abu Jahl, the arch enemy of Islam, addressed them, "O people of Quraysh, it seems that Muhammad is determined to go on finding fault with our religion, degrading our forefathers, discrediting our way of life, and abusing our gods. I bear witness to our God that to rid you of him once and for all. In Protestant. I am not afraid of whatever his tribe, Banu Abdul Manaf, might do." The terrible, unfortunate audience approved his plan and encouraged him to translate it into a decisive deed. In the morning of the following day, Abu Jahl lay waiting for the arrival of Allah's Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to offer prayer. The people of Quraysh were in their assembly rooms waiting for news. When the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prostrated himself, Abu Jahl proceeded, carrying the big rod to fulfill his wicked intention. No sooner he had approached the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam than he withdrew pale-faced, shuddering with his hands straining while the rock would drop. The people rushing forward, asking him what was wrong. He replied, "When I approached a male camel unusual in figure with fearful canines, intercepted and almost devoured me." Ibn Ishaq reported that the Prophet ﷺ, in the context of his comment of the incident, said it was Gabriel. If Abu Jahl had approached closer, he would have killed him. The Quraysh attempt to negotiate. Although the Quraysh tried to challenge the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Jahl tried to kill him, they had hoped to come some terms with the Prophet ﷺ, since they were not completely convinced that he was false. Rather, they felt about the message, as Allah said, they are in grave doubt concerning it. They saw that the Prophet ﷺ was firm in the matter of religion, and they wanted to meet him somewhere in the middle of the world. They were willing to give up some of their faith, requesting him to give up some of his. They thought that through this method they would be able to arrive at the truth, if what he called them to was indeed true. Ibn Ishaq reported that some people were mocking Allah's Messenger ﷺ while he was circumambulation around the Kaaba. They included Al-Aswad bin Al-Muttalib bin Asad bin Abdul Uzza, Al-Walid bin Al-Mughira, Umayyah bin Khalaf, and Al-As bin Wa'il as-Sahmi. And these were the elders of their people. They said, "O Muhammad, come and let us worship what you worship, and your worship of what we worship." we can be partner with you in this matter. If one of you worship is better than what we worship, then we will get some kind of benefit. Whereas if what we worship is better than the one you worship, then you will get some kind of benefit. So Allah we will say, oh you disbeliever, I will not worship what you worship, to the end of the surah. Abdul bin Humayr and others reported that Ibn Abbas said that the Quran said, if you submit to our God, then we will worship your God. So Allah will say, oh you disbeliever, to the end of the surah. At-Tabari and others worship that Ibn Abbas said that the Quran said, worship to our God for 1 year and we will worship your God for 1 year. So Allah will say, it is other than Allah that you order me to worship, or you fools. The Quraysh bewilderment and their consultant with the Jews. The water of Paga had began to seem dark after this event, and they were perplexed over what to do. Finally, one of their devils, An-Nadir bin Harith, stood to advise them, saying, O Quraysh, by Allah, you have experienced an unprecedented phenomenon, before which you have so far been desperately helpless. Muhammad grew up here and nursed among you, and he always proved to be highly obliging, the most truthful and trustworthy young man. However, when his sideburn began to grey, he brought this problem. You say he is a sorcerer. No, by Allah, not by Allah. He is not a sorcerer, for we have been sorcery and its spell. Then you say he is a soothsayer. No, by Allah. He is not a soothsayer, for we have been soothsayer for their taste for passion, and we have heard their wives. Then you say he is a poet. No, by Allah, he is not a poet, for we have been poet and heard their saying of song and filth. Then you say he is possessed. No, by Allah, he is not possessed, for we have seen the possessed, and he has never been witnessed to develop any sort of hallucination or fit peculiar to madmen or people of Quraysh. This is really a serious matter, and I recommend that you seriously consider what to do. Then the Quraysh decided to contact the Jews for help in this matter. They authorized An-Nadir bin Harith to go with some others to the Jews of Medina. There the rabbis told him, ask him 3 questions. If he inform you about them, then he is indeed a messenger. Ask him about the children who went away in earlier times. What happened to them? Ask him about a man whose journey reached the east and the west of the earth. What was his prophecy? Ask him about the soul, what it is. When he returned to Mecca, he said that he had returned with some detail that could be used against Muhammad SAW, and he informed them about what the Jews say. So the Quraysh asked Allah's Messenger SAW about these 3 matters. After a few days, Surah Al-Kahfi was revealed. It told of the story of the children known as the people of the cave. It's also narrated about the journeys of the man known as Dhul Qarnayn. The answer about the soul was revealed in Surah Al-Isra. This clarified to the Quraysh that the Prophet ﷺ was following the truth, yet the wrongdoers were bent on disbelieving. Abu Talib assembled his family. While the pagans were doing this, Abu Talib still had a deep sensation of fear for his nephew. He considerably thought about the previous series of incidents, including the case of Uqbah bin Abi Mu'ayt, attempt to shock the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Jahl with his war, and finally Umar before conversion, intending to kill Muhammad. Since all of these men were from Banu Hashim and Banu al-Muttalib, the wise men understood that all of this unequivocally smacked of a serious plot being hatched to kill the Prophet ﷺ. Abu Talib exhorted them to protect the Prophet ﷺ, all of them, whether believers or or disbeliever, responded positively except his brother Abu Lahab, who sided with the other letters.